Financial crises like the one caused by COVID-19 alter the course of economies and markets, but they also alter the course of central banks and governments. And just as they have in past crises, policymakers have stepped in once again with previously unthinkable tools. Today, Brent Johnson and William White discuss the evolution of the seemingly perpetual cycle and endeavor to answer the question of whether we are nearing the end of the easy money experiment. As well, they discuss the implications of this policy response on the global dollar system in a conversation that I can only describe as an absolute pleasure to observe.
Hello, everybody. This is Brent Johnson. I'm with Santiago Capital, and I'm happy to be here on Real Vision today. I have the immense pleasure of being able to speak with Bill White, and I'm going to give a quick introduction of him, but he really needs no introduction. He's been on Real Vision several times, and I've been following him for several years and read several pieces of his work. And I got to tell you, Bill, you're lucky we're not sitting on like a 6-hour flight next to each other, because I know I would drive you crazy for the whole 6 hours. So if you get sick of me at any point, you can just hit the stop button on your computer and we'll go from there. But I'm really excited to get to speak with you today.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, too. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and both of us might learn something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know I could learn a lot from you, and I know there's going to be a lot of different things that we talk about. I think maybe just quickly, let's, I'm Santiago Capital. I'm a money manager, for lack of a better word, in San Francisco. If you could just give a quick little background on you, who you are for the people who haven't heard you speak before, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, shucks. Well, I come from a small town in northern Ontario in Canada, and I guess my first big job was deputy governor of the Bank of Canada. And then I subsequently went and became the economic advisor, running the economics department at the Bank for International Settlements, which is where all the central bankers meet up in the old days, every month, and more recently, every 2 months. And then I was the chairman of the Economic and Development Review Committee at the OECD, which does all sorts of country surveys. And now I'm semi-retired back in Canada, and I'm a senior fellow at the Howe Institute in Toronto.
Fantastic. Well, I think one of the reasons I think that I've been looking forward to speaking to you today is I think as I've moved forward in my career, I've at times been fairly critical of central banks from the outside looking in. And when I look back at some of your work, you have, I think it's fair to say you've been somewhat critical of central banks, but you've done it from the inside looking out. And so I think it's kind of an interesting place we find ourselves in now, with both of us having those viewpoints, but then also with, central bankers are like celebrities these days. People actually know who they are, and they're, highly quoted. 10 or 15, 20 years ago, I don't know if it was necessarily the case, but it's certainly interesting times as it relates to central bankers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of funny in a way, because the central bankers were really at the heart of the crisis, and having allowed sort of very rapid credit expansion in so many countries prior to the great financial crisis. And one might have thought that there would have been some kind of a pushback on the central banking community. But rather oddly, there has been even greater reliance on the central banks to keep the system afloat. And in addition to their monetary policy responsibilities, of course, they've been given an awful lot more regulatory responsibility.